Okay, next, Stoicism. We said Epicureans, and he did live in a garden, hang out there with his friends, ate simple foods, led a simple life. Stoics, on the other hand, it's a view from the stone walkway, or the public terrace. That's where the name Stoa comes from. The Stoa, actually, wait, where's that slide? The Stoa is the name of a big, long porch, long covered walkway in Athens, downtown Athens, close to all where the action is happening, where the politics are happening. And it's where the school of the Stoics used to gather and where they got their name, the Stoa. Unlike the garden, it's a very ordered place. It's a very public place. It's a very rational place. And that's actually a lot of what the Stoics are like. So, the view from the Stoa. For the founder of Stoicism, Zeno of Citium, on the island of Cyprus, and happiness is noble acceptance. So, born around the same time as Epicurus, different island, both settled in Athens roughly the same time. So the Stoics are marching up and down the Stoa, talking about Stoicism. At the same time, Epicurus and his Epicureans are outside of town in a suburb, hanging out in the garden. Okay, reality. Reality is rational. The universe is ordered by reason. It obeys certain laws. Gravity, inertia, force, we would say now. But everything happens in an orderly, predictable manner. The universe is actually designed. The stars move in set courses. Things happen as they should. So nature as a whole, and this reason, this divine reasoning that permeates all of reality, they call the logos, also the word for word, also the word from which we get logic. There's a universal reason seeping through the entire universe, and nature, all of reality we know, all fits together as one big, perfectly functioning organism. Several centuries, 10 centuries or so later, 15 centuries later actually, when we get to the Enlightenment, it becomes a machine rather than an organism. Sort of an interesting change, the way we do it in the modern era. But still, the whole universe sort of fits together, and all of the parts are where they are for a reason and work within it. So, if the universe is ordered and everything is proceeding according to rational laws, then what happens for a reason. Leaves fall and decay so that they can become fertilizer for the next generation. Forest fires clear out the extra shrubs, making the forest in general healthier. What happens for a reason. Even though that reason may not be obvious to us where we are, we might actually think the forest fire is a pretty bad thing. In the big scheme, as far as the whole universe's plan goes, everything happens for a reason, and a good reason. The key to understanding this universe, observation, empirical, sense data, and logic. And both of these schools emphasize logic. The Stoics are actually very good logicians, make a lot of advances in logic, because you have to, you have this data, but you have to be critical to try to figure out how you're going to get from what seems like really random data to understand the underlying rationality, the causes, the laws by which the universe works. 2, happiness. We're back to that. Comes from accepting fate. Fate, by what I mean what the universe is going to do to you. We cannot change reality. Reality is a pretty big thing, and it doesn't listen to me. I try. I even try hitting it on the nose with a newspaper. I can't train reality. Reality is going to do what reality does. We can't change that. And if reality is rational, if it runs according to a plan, if it has a plan to it and everything works perfectly, why should we fight that? Why should we fight forest fires when they actually make the forest healthier? Why don't we simply accept it and accept the fact that the universe has its reasons and knows better than we do? And a great deal of our unhappiness will come from trying to fight against reality, trying to change what can't be changed. But what can be changed is us. We can change ourselves. We can't control the universe, but we can control whether we're going to be whiners about it. Make sense? Can't control the universe, but we can control how we behave in the universe. We can not be selfish. We can be good. We can be virtuous. We can be kind. To be happy, we must control our feelings. One of the great sorrows is loss. One of the reasons we feel sorrow when we lose a pet, a friend, a child, is because we're so attached to them. We have to learn to discipline our feelings and say, although this child is a wonderful thing I have right now, it is a gift to me from the universe, and at some point, the universe, I will have to return it to the universe. We have to discipline our feelings, not grow too attached to things that are beyond our control. And we can endure with dignity. Our nobility comes, our self-respect comes from how well we face what the world throws at us. And in that sense, the last two are still the way we use the word Stoicism. Not showing excessive emotion when bad things happen to you, or when good things happen to you, and enduring suffering with dignity. Two major thinkers, Epictetus sort of illustrates what I said, and you don't necessarily have to write these down, but Epictetus would be a good one to write down. You can chain my leg. He was a slave, and this is the spectrum of Stoicism. He's a Greek slave, crippled, bottom of the pole, all sorts of bad things happen to him, yet he endures. And he's one of the great writers in Stoicism. You can chain my leg, but not my will. Not even the gods can do that. Another major thinker, other end of the scale, one of the great emperors of Rome, and of both of the Roman empires, the Eastern and the Western. Very powerful man at the top of everything, educated, good-looking, rich, powerful, Marcus Aurelius. And you'll be reading selections from him in about a week. And his advice, and I have a student who had these with me who still does this. Begin every morning by saying to yourself, today I'm going to meet with the busybody, ungrateful, arrogant, deceitful, envious, unsocial people. But I, who have seen the nature of the good, that it is beautiful, I can neither be injured by any of them, for no one can fix on me what is ugly. Terrible things you're going to meet all sorts of nasty people today. And you can't change that. You'll encounter a grumpy person today who is going to try to ruin your day, consciously or unconsciously. You cannot change that fact. You can change how you react, because ultimately that person is not you, and you control who you are. Stoicism. Third, virtue matters. To be happy, we have to live well. Living is an art, and we have to learn to do it skillfully. We have to learn the virtues. We have to behave in a self-controlled, dignified, wise, kind, natural, social order, all those things. And these, again, you'll get to discuss when you read from Aurelius's Meditations. And they're pretty typical virtues, and he has long, long lists of them. But it's important to be virtuous. So, Stoics. Reality is material, ruled by reason. Happiness comes from accepting fate, and virtue matters. And there's a summary. And you probably need to go to chapel. Thank you very much.